dream at times, blinded by my passion and fury. Look at me laugh at my competition, flashing my jury.
All right, let's talk ring general shit, right? And I think Floyd is like the best at we gonna fight here. We're not gonna fight right there. We gonna fight here. Dictating where we gonna fight at. Body shots?
Right.
Check hooks?
Right, because he's on the inside now.
Exactly.
See, I was talking about more so in the middle of the ring. If you look at, somebody had posted on the site, Zab Judah had caught Floyd with a right hook because Floyd lunged with the straight right hand to the solar plexus, right? He was trying to, dig underneath. But he lunged for that because he had to. But see, Zab did something that I don't think Pacquiao can do. And this is very interesting. What happens when Floyd, because he does this at certain times, see, Floyd doesn't fight the same fight every round. What happens in rounds where Floyd says, you know what, I'm taking the real estate. I'm coming to you now. So, can Pacquiao fight going backwards?
That's another question too.
Zab Judah was able to do it at certain spots. He couldn't keep it up. Zab comes forward. He's a straight line guy.
Actually, tell you the truth, Pacquiao, to be fair, but it still plays a role. And you know what? I was pissed with Brandon Rios for how he fought, but that was a sign of Pacquiao going backwards. So was Margarito. But those guys wasn't fighting right, and then even if you look at Margarito, he had some success with Pacquiao in that fight, and the thing with the whole thing with what you just said, I skipped that. I think the reason why I bring up Winky Wright is I think Floyd can Winky Wright Pacquiao, and that's when it turns into an inside fight, and that's when he's pushing Pacquiao back.
Right. He's taking the real estate.
Exactly.
Right. And that's all Winky used to do. Winky, and he had his most success against Shane Mosley. Everybody else would duck him. But it's because he takes your real estate. You want to engage in the center of the ring. Winky is taking the center of the ring off jump. So now you're going to hit his guard. You're going to try to go to the belly, but every time you try to go low, he hitting bows. Straight right, straight left. Everything was straight. Everything was very boom, boom, boom. He wasn't really, it wasn't no looping. He didn't throw too many hooks at all for his whole career.
Right. So
I agree. I think that what happens. How does Pacquiao approach that when this man takes his real estate?
I think what Pacquiao is going to try to do in this fight, because he does try to be intelligent in the ring. I give him credit for that. That's not really his schoolyard, but some fighters he gets away with it. Is I think he's going to try to think in there with Floyd. And what I will give Pacquiao to his credit, he can be sneaky. And to be a southpaw, to me, you got to be a little sneaky. But I think he's going to try to play that kind of game with him. And that's another thing that people keep saying, right? We're going to get into this too. With all these other guys' predictions and things, right? Is that people keep saying that Pacquiao is just, his work rate in the ring is just what's going to win this fight.
Throws so many.
Actually,
I don't think he throws a lot of punches.
He throws a lot of, but his work rate is not because he don't really just start out. Sometimes he paces and he fights in spots
he fights
as well.
It's spurts. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's that same guy that he's not the same guy, man. And from 5 years ago. And for whatever reason, I don't want to be sued. So I ain't gonna, defamation, none of that,
I'm kind of wondering.
It was hitting a little harder.
One thing about Pacquiao that was always a question on Pacquiao before he became this big phenomenon is his stamina. So now, we're going back to that place where he was before 5 years ago, whatever, before he was this icon, right? So again, what guy is stepping into that ring? It's a question mark for everybody. And if you're a Pacquiao fan, and I support whatever fighter, fighters need support, man, all the support they can get. Being a fighter, even stepping into the ring, with promotion situation and all that, it's hard being a fighter, man. So if you a boxer, man, salute to you. So it's nothing against Pacquiao at all. He's all-time great. My thing is just what Pacquiao stepping into that ring. I don't think that anybody can definitively say, I don't even think Freddie Roach can 100% say.
He don't even look like
what he gonna be able to give in the ring.
Freddie's in the training camp doing all this buffoonery stuff. I think he's nervous too. He's
never.
But moving along. So we all in agreement with we picking Mayweather.
Yeah.
You picking by decision?
You know, my heart wants to say that he's gonna knock out Pacquiao, because I think he's training to do it, but I'm not sure with his hands if he's gonna be able to. But I'm gonna say decision.
I'm already
hey, you know what? Hey, I don't mean to copy him, but I see that's about right. An 8th round stoppage though, maybe 5. Maybe 5, right?
I don't know what Pacquiao is coming to the ring. If Pacquiao is having stamina issues in that fight, because you gotta also understand this is both of their biggest fight.
Right.
Anxiety kicks in.
Yeah.
You know, the weight on the world. Everybody say the weight is on Floyd. Well, actually, the weight is on Pacquiao. He got a country going for him. What country Floyd got? The way where he's gonna come back home disappointed, right? The pressure is on himself, but it's always been there in every fight, right?
Well, like an interesting thing that Floyd does, and I find this extremely interesting, is in all of his fights. See, because he's most of the time the favorite, right? But he finds a way to make himself the underdog, like closer to training camp, And when it gets around, I mean, before he's like, can't nobody touch me. But then when it gets close to training camp, he's like, I gotta take this guy serious. He finds a way.
It's a mental.
Right, and I think the only time he wasn't able to do that was against Mike Donna, the first fight. So they had to come with the gloves. I think that was all orchestrated, just to add some edge to the fight. So for this fight, I'm seeing Floyd like, he's like, I take this job. He's really being Rocky for this fight. So I mean, I think that's gonna be interesting too.
Don't look down how you like it raw. Niggas ain't ready for the wrath of the outlaws. Never surrender. Death before the sun, I stay free. I'm drugged out. Fuck the world, cause it's just how they made me. Scar, but still breathing, believing me. And you can see the victory of warrior and Jews. It's me, life of an outlaw. No doubt. Everybody fucking with us. Life is an outlaw. So, attack formation. No retreat, no surrender.